Impact Masters podcast in collaboration with Africa's Talking Retold podcast, where every conversation sparks new insights. Join us as we delve into the stories of extraordinary individuals who are shaping our world, movers and shakers in tech, policymakers, entrepreneurs, entertainers, and all those whose stories are worth telling. Get ready to be inspired, challenged, and transformed. Welcome, and let's embark on this journey of discovery together. Impact Masters Podcast. You can check us out on all social media platforms. You can also find us across all podcast channels. Simply search for Impact Masters, then subscribe, follow, and share. www.impactmasters.io. Here's your host, Michael Kamathi.
So, as a transformation leader, there are two main goals that you have. That is positive impact and sustainable change.
Correct.
And your goal is impacting 1 million African lives by 2026. The reason why I focus on this, I had a friend back in 2015 from a country in the West Africa. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's Sierra Leone or Senegal or something.
Was he a friend or is just one of those people?
He's a guy I met in Nairobi.
Oh, okay.
Of course, if I worked with him, I consider him a friend.
And I'm your friend too, so
yes,
it's fine. I accept.
So he also had this vision. He went to yearly program, very active in that program. He also studied abroad, and he had the same goal. But my question even then was, it's 2026, right? For you.
Yeah.
And it's like 2 years from now, or less,
right.
1 year and few months.
That's correct.
Are you almost there?
No.
But
how am I going to do it?
How are you going to do it by 2026?
Okay. So the journey, and I want to start with why. Why we believe that it's possible.
Yeah.
So the founder and CEO of Data Sentinels, Nono Bukiti, she went forward and said, within Zambia, she said she was going to train up 200 people in 2 years. And she set that up and she's trained 200 people. In the process, she saved $10 million.
Yeah.
How did she save $10 million? She woke up one day and said, you know what? You, sir, who runs the mine, I'm going to save you $10 million.
Okay.
Then she woke up and was like, damn it, how am I going to do that? That's a big number.
Yeah.
But the fact that she had a number that she was targeting meant that the work that she then needed to do was to leverage the 200 people that she had in order to be able to maximize the savings that she gets.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
that then leads me now to where we are as a transformational leader, is that we are currently in the process of setting up the foundation that will be able to allow us to leverage groups of individuals in Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Botswana, South Africa, Zambia. And the idea is that we want to empower people to be business owners in a model that allows for people to then facilitate transformative experiences to people, but also develop their own business and generate their own income. And a large portion of that is the idea, or centered around that, is the idea of Ubuntu.
Yes.
I am because we are.
Yeah.
And that portion of the discussion requires every individual, including people who work for us, to do community engagement work.
Okay.
And so once we get to that point, we intend within a relatively short period of time to be able to start leveraging groups and pockets and tribes of individuals within the community works that they're doing across multiple countries across Africa.
Yeah.
And if I have 10 people doing 10 hours, impacting 10 people, doing 10 hours, who impact 10 people.
The ripple
10
effect.
hours. The ripple effect can get us beyond 10 can get us beyond 1 million people
In a year. Thank you so much.
So right now, a lot of the groundwork is to really get ourselves the foundation set up, get the piping done, and to really start to propel within the second half, within this quarter. Really start propelling. And I believe you'll see a lot of that sitting in Kenya with transformation leader, T4L, as well as the data signals. So watch the space. I'm not here just to, I didn't come all this way to talk to you. So I'm hoping that anything that we're doing now is our number one aim is to give back, to be able to empower, to be able to transform, and to make this sustainable. The impact that you and I have by having this discussion should not end just because it went through 1 year and the other year. No. It should empower, encourage somebody to do the next step. And then it should then result in something. And we believe that what we've seen it work. And we are going to be able to impact people's lives in a way that allows for everybody to also to stand up and be counted.
I agree with you, and you're in the right place. And I'm glad you didn't come all the way to talk to me for two reasons. One is because Africa's talking, empowering developers across Africa, doing an amazing job at it. And at Impact Masters, you're disrupting the status quo. And we are also doing an amazing job. One of those is these podcasts in collaboration with Africa's Talking. And I believe Africans are very, very smart, super smart, but they never have a platform. And when I hear a young guy like you, amongst many other who are African, and they're doing something about creating those platforms, I thank God, but also I'm super proud that there is a future and a better future date for Africa. Mine is just to encourage you that keep at it with the team. Of course, I know you're representing a huge team behind you, but also, again, to say this is just the start of the many. So when we come to Zambia, we'll talk more. When you come here, let me know. Now we know each other. I just knew Paul.
Now we know each other. But I want to actually go a bit further than that. When you talk about the 160 developers,
almost now 170,000 developers.
170,000 developers. So when you talk about developers in that, what I hear is there's an opportunity to collaborate. When I sit here, we have this discussion. I want to hear your story on my podcast.
Absolutely.
So it's like, at what point? I don't want to wait for you to get to Zambia. I want to know, before I leave this studio, I want to know, so MK, he sounds like a smart guy. He looks like he's got a mission and a vision, and he's got sponsors and. How can we create value? How can we leverage each other's spaces, thinking, mindset, everything, experiences to complement and then create value onto a table that really started off as a podcast, but rather materialized into something meaningful?
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to manage to impact 1 million people. I can tell you that. If I don't take every opportunity
that comes your way
to understand what you're doing, and to be a part of what you're doing. And so that is where I sit with that.
Do you have time?
No, look, I'm done. I'm done talking. So I'm actually a bit hungry, if I'm going to be honest. That's the only thing. I'm actually a bit hungry, and I was actually hoping to have some alcohol in me by now. But I mean, look, this has been really exciting, nonetheless. You're taking away from my Boda experience and me seeing.
No, Boda is a 24-hour economy. You guys didn't,
No, but I'm referencing Boda because they had like a whole night plan. They were like, so we'll be done with the podcast by 8. And then after 8, we'll do. And I was like, my guys.
Life is not what you plan.
Indeed. But anyways, look, it's been a wonderful experience for me in terms of this podcast. The biggest thing, at least, is around how do we grow, support each other, give each other platforms, but then solve practical problems that add value within the continent.
Yeah. Let me give you a rundown.
Yeah, go for it.
So for us, we are more practical than verbal. I learned to speak maybe with people maybe like 10 years ago when I realized that I have to build sustainable communities across Africa. And this is learning to speak with people who are introverts, who are developers again. So I'm still learning, to be honest. And it took a lot of courage even to be a host of this podcast. Because you see, you meet people like you are fluent, articulate and all that. And so many others who even have accents. And you're like...
But you know what?
But you're doing so far so good. But go ahead.
I wanted to say something.
Yeah.
So when I started the podcast because I am not an articulate speaker.
Yeah.
My parents, when they heard it, they were like, so you're not eating your words, you're actually audible. And I'm like, I'm just doing this because I need to be able to talk. And this is the skill that I'm practicing as I do this. So I don't look at me as a good example. I'm struggling my way through this current podcast. Guys,
listen to us. If you really want to have that Queen's accent, start a podcast. You got it from him. But anyway, back to the point. So when we go to a country, and thanks to Africa's Talking, I was just doing it in Kenya. And I was like, how is this going to scale? So at some point, even I tried to start at least East Africa and scale, but it was so slow. Then I joined Africa's Talking now 3 years ago. And now I was able to reach out to different regions across Africa. And so the plan is that when we go to a market and we want to even scale that further, we do a hackathon. Whereby you get to build. Let's talk more code. We meet some of the movers and shakers in that market. Yeah. And there are two things that we do. We get to listen what the impact of our product, which is assessing telco solutions through APIs, what it's doing for that market in different sectors. Right now, we're supporting over 18 sectors and counting. May it be clean energy, may it be, communication, marketing, there is oil and gas, there is a portfolio of, those sectors. Then we are able to tell the story either through customer story, just a 3-minute video of showcasing what you are doing in that market and also how the API is powering that. But also we take some time and sit down with people like you, people who have innovation spaces, people who are building developer communities and have a podcast. And this is more lengthy, just to articulate a couple of things. One is that to show that journey. It's not just because it's you, it just happened. No, there was a process. There were some different things that shaped you. You went to UK, but you felt like you should come back home. What castigated that? What are those experiences? This is just to encourage also the generation that will come 100 years when we are long gone, or maybe 200 years when we are long gone, and our history is not captured anywhere as we found it. Yeah. For us, actually, if you think about it, there's no the history that is 200, 300 years ago that we can go and say Africans were like this 300 years ago. But also more so to tell how we are building tech ecosystems so that the mistakes that you make in the next maybe 20 years or 50 years to come, your grandkid will not come and start saying, I need to learn afresh. They'll watch, this podcast amongst many other documentation you'll create over time to be able to say, if Dzikamai did this and these were the learnings, I don't need to start from there. I can start maybe 10 steps ahead. And that actually propels us closer to where we want to be. But the realistic point that is so strong and that we keep insisting in this engagement is whereby we should not be at the mercy of leadership of the day. We should be at the mercy of our intellectual and the solutions we're able to build for our brothers and sisters across the globe. Yeah. And that's enough addressable market to change the dynamics of so many of us that is left at the mercy of the piper. So that's where we are basically. And right now, as we speak, I think my chiefs here and myself will exchange notes on how can we be able to work together practically, both in Zambia, maybe even in Botswana or even Mozambique, actually. Yeah. I know they speak Portuguese, but we have to learn. And also Zimbabwe in South Africa, because already we have a market in Zambia. We have even an employee there. We have someone in South Africa, Botswana, and they're looking really, really good, and Malawi. So there's an opportunity there that we can work together. But Kenya is where we have really, made most of these, because also we are our headquarters in Kenya. But we are always looking outward to see if we align and the mission, aligns, we should be able to do some of these things. So that's something we'll discuss off the podcast and how to go about it. But we welcome anyone who is listening to this. It may be African company or foreign, we don't care. As long as you are, what you want to do is really clear and it has value for general community. It serves the Ubuntu. We are your people. Yeah. And we have really, really great minds in what we do. So it's not, we're not coming here for good enough. We are really excellent. And I say this with all humility. So I would encourage anyone. Also, we have a summit, yearly summit.
Okay.
Our first one was last year. And we try to also showcase some of the technology. You could be actually one of the speakers there to showcase how you use data to make decision and how that has changed over time, to even showcase other miners how to do it.
When?
October.
October?
Yes, October.
I have to talk to
We'll work on the details.
Yeah,
so
let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
So there are a lot
keen.
of opportunities. We also do mini summits.
Yeah.
One of the key markets that we wanted to go this year, yet to be confirmed, is Southern Africa.
Yeah.
And that includes Zambia. So there are a couple of things that we could do together. But before we start pitching a 5-year strategy, I would love you guys, if you can maybe encourage our viewers to subscribe, both in your native language and the Queen's language, whichever it is. If you're not okay with that, that's fine. The English language is fine.
Yeah.
I think you are being shown the camera that you're going to do that too. Yeah. What else is he supposed to do? Parting shot. Yes. So you can start with parting shot, or you can start with parting shot.
What is the parting shot?
Just
like, say a couple of things.
Yeah, like summary of encouraging guys to and then the subscription. And I should look at that camera, of course, after you.
All right. So for me, being here in Kenya is absolutely amazing, and Nairobi is the hustle and bustle of where tech innovation is within Africa, across Africa. And so what better thing to do than to actually be here in Nairobi? And so for me, I'm actually thankful, grateful for MK hosting me on the podcast. The discussions that we had actually spread across lots of different things. And the beauty about what we've talked about, I think, allowed for me to share some of the experiences that I've had through my life, but how they also reflect on the future and the vision that I see within Africa. And within Africa, what I see personally is a collaborative space where we can create value across multiple different sectors and across multiple different countries. And what does that require? It requires each individual to play their part. And more so than that is also for us to be able to collaborate to make sure that we are maximizing the value that exists amongst us. I think we've got a lot of opportunities amongst us to be able to do a lot of great things. And we just need to stand up and be counted. And within these discussions like this is the space where we give ourselves not only the encouragement, but the ideas, but also the networks to get to that space that we all hope to get to. Have that vision and that persistence to get things practically done, to get to a better continent all in all. And it's about the tribe and the community, and we're doing it together. So more than anything, I'd love to thank you all for really putting this all together for us. And from Data Sentinels, from Transformation Leader, we not only think that this is the start of a long journey, but it's one that we want to really start to challenge each other, because we've got 1 million lives to change, to transform. And we've got a continent to disrupt. And we're only going to be able to do it if we do it together. So thank you so much for having me. And when we look at the different platforms that you can reach us, it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and the handle will be Data Sentinels and Transformational Leader. So please follow us, like and subscribe, not only to this podcast, but to the Shameless podcast, which is brought to you by Transformation Leader, as well as Transformation Leader and Data Sentinels. So there's plenty more where this has come from, and I think you haven't seen the last of us, not only here in Kenya, but also in different areas and corners of Africa. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. That's amazing. So that has been Dzikamai Gangaidzo. Chief Mining Engineer at First Quantum Minerals. You know, as I've made it a habit nowadays to conclude with African proverbs. It's only that I don't know how to put the accent on the Zambian language. I just want to use Zambi for now, but there's one here, Omubalakale Ulaya Fuilisha. And Hali beginning is half the battle. I don't know if I said it that right. People from these called Zambian proverbs, Bemba. They can correct me. But that's the reason when I come to Zambia, maybe I learn a few way of saying it.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why to visit more African countries. Ethiopian Airlines, I don't know why you should not, and Kenya Airways, you should not, work on those pricing.
I mean, there's a direct flight from here to Lusaka. Yeah. Kenya Airways could probably give you a discounted flight.
Yeah. I mean, they could sponsor this podcast and my crew.
Indeed.
I don't know which hotel has some hosting there. These things could work out if we...
Sometimes you speak it into existence. So I'm looking forward to you joining us on the free Kenya Airways trip.
Yeah.
And sponsored by somebody.
From your mouth to God's ears. Or to Kenya Airways ears. Anyways, so this has been Impact Masters Podcast. Disrupting the status quo. We are available on all podcast channels, including YouTube, Hi-Hat Radio. I heard Google now is closing down and moving everything to YouTube. So if you are there, also check us on YouTube podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the channels that you think about our podcast. If you go and search Impact Masters Podcast or Africa's Talking Retold Podcast, you'll get us there. So regardless of your channel, you'll get us there. Something else I needed to mention here is that thank you so much for over 1,000 downloads. That's very interesting because, man, we do like 4 hours kind of podcast. You guys have been very loyal. There are some guys I see every time we publish something, they're there. So thank you so much. And always being there for us, sharing with your friends. I don't know how to thank you. Maybe we should have a budget to send even airtime or something. Just saying thank you. We'll find our way. We'll find our way, maybe in the near future, to just appreciate your support and everything. And by the way, for sure, when we start making money, I'll make sure 50% goes to our listeners, and also start some foundational kind of projects. Now we have another podcast in the house. Now this is the second or third podcast in the house. Some of the guys I've hosted, they have gone ahead and started podcasts. So the ripple effect, the Ubuntu is working.
It's working.
Until next time, this is Michael Kimathi, or MK if you want. And I would like to wish you a wonderful, wonderful morning, evening, lunchtime, whenever time you listen to us. I want to wish you all the best, and also to encourage you to be guided by Ubuntu principle.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Impact Masters. Thank you for tuning in and sharing this space of growth and empowerment with us.